That's an extra year taken off my life. Full time at the Amex, Brighton and Hove Albion 3, Brentford 3. Where on earth do I start with this game? Two teams obviously battling it out potentially for European places, both teams that are arguably exceeding expectations this season, both teams that play good football, and this was sure to be a great clash of two football teams, right? And it's mixed emotions on this one, because whilst in this game we still played some great football for the majority of the game, if you don't get the basic fundamental defensive issues sorted, you can forget any talk about European football. I think we ended the game on around 4.8 XG or something. Brentford came and did what they had to do, and this game was an example of why I rate Thomas Frank so highly as a manager, because he reads games so well. Before and during the game, he came with Brentford and they set up to frustrate us. They obviously respect how well we play, especially at home, and obviously came out the blocks at the start. I think as well, the stats going into this game, Brentford are the highest scoring set piece team. We've conceded the most set pieces, so this was only going to go one way. Obviously conceded 2 goals from set pieces. The second goal, don't even really want to talk about it, absolute shambles. And to be honest, just all round a bit of a concern, to be honest, going into the final stages of this season, where even though we have such great individuals, if there isn't something set there for us to, actually defend properly when it matters most, then you can, like I say, you can forget about how well we attack. Obviously scored 3 goals again today, and rightly so, especially in the second half. Once Brentford went 3-2 up, their aim was to just sit back and soak up the pressure, because that is actually, like, even though we did create a lot of chances in the second half, that's kind of our weakness as well, is that we just, as soon as teams sit back against us, we find it so hard to break through the lines most of the time, it seems like. And that was an issue again up until we managed to get the penalty in the dying minutes, rightfully so. I don't know if it was a red card or not, really. I to be honest, I don't really care about the rules anymore. I'm just glad that it was actually given as a penalty. Would have been some sort of match fixing otherwise. Also a penalty shout with Hickey as well at the end, but it kind of looked like he was trying to pull his arm out of the way anyway, so it was like too close to him. There wasn't much he could have really done about it. As nice as it would have been to win the game, these are the kind of games obviously that we should be winning if we are to take a challenge for European football seriously. But at the same time, this is why I say it's mixed emotions, because if we did come out of that game losing, then you forget about those slim thoughts about Champions League, whatever. It's a draw's fine, right? I'm not mad at it. I'm just mad about how, like I say, the defensive issues. Even though, like, it's hard to really pick out any bad individual performances. Even Jason Steele got an assist today, almost as many assists as he made saves in the game, but he got the assist. So, like, what could I say, man? Like, it was a great ball to pick up Mitoma in the first half to equalise, and then we go and concede a goal literally like 60 seconds after. Like, this game was a mess, and it's what we come to expect as Brighton fans now, I guess. I respect De Zerbi's bravery in this game, to taking off both fullbacks eventually to try and push for that third goal. Obviously had no real other choice, because Brentford were going to sit back and try to frustrate as much as possible. It was turning out to be like a Fulham situation at home, where just trying to win as many fouls as possible. I wouldn't go as far as say cheating, but like I say, just frustrating, because these teams come and it's a common thing in football, right? You're not going to head to the Etihad and try and play them off the park, most teams, are you? Like, you need to sit back and soak up the pressure and hope that you can get something on the counter, which is what Brentford did, and which is which is what they did in exploiting our weaknesses in this game. And like I said, why Brentford is such a great team, because they set up so well, and that was why I was, so nervous going into this game, expecting the worst. But thankfully, we managed to, get something out of it, because it would have been an absolute disgrace otherwise. Toma was exceptional in the first half, but the second half, I feel like there must have been some sort of halftime team talk to try and take him out of the game. They were starting to double up on the wingers, because March also got an assist in the first half for Welbeck, and gradually towards the end of the game they were going a bit quieter. It was a little harder to exploit Brentford through wing play. They came and set up with a 5-back in the first place, and it was tough at times. Even though we created, I think we had like at least 30 shots or some bollocks in the end, it was still hard to create clear-cut chances because of how well Brentford set up, and why I respect them so much. Even, as I've said, as frustrating as it is, you kind of just have to take this one on the chin, really, because it's not one of those games where you can say, oh, we deserve to win that. It's one of those games where you look back and say, well, if we actually defended properly, then yeah, we would have easily won that game on another day. Caicedo was brilliant as usual in terms of individual performances. Welbeck looked really sharp in the first half, especially as well, which was ironic because in my previous video, if you haven't checked it out, do check it out. I was doing a keep bench sell on the Brighton squad, and I decided to sell Welbeck mainly because of his age, and mainly because I wasn't really convinced with him under De Zerbi, but I'm glad that he put in a good shift today. And yeah, it was a good performance, but also a frustrating performance for obvious reasons. Hopefully we can build on that for the next one, and hopefully we sort out these set piece issues, because otherwise we're absolutely fucked in the semi-final against United.